Hello, this is Patricia from Pinky's World. Tonight I am making these cute little containers that hold a highlighter pen. So I've made this one in Blushing Bride and it all kind of matches together. I've put paper on the inside and a stamp on the outside, and the stamp set that I'm using is Delightful Day, which you can now get in the new catalogue, and it matched perfectly with this pink one, but this time I'm doing a yellow pen, so I thought it'd be real dramatic and go with the black to match the black. These are just out of the pound shop, so you can get them very easily, and they come in four, blue, green, pink and yellow, and a great wee highlighters this time of the year for people studying and getting ready for their exams and such forth. You're probably a bit late for it now, but bear it in mind for next year, or for kids getting ready to go back to school in September. You could have a whole bunch of these just as a wee thank or a wee good luck gift or whatever. So anyway, this is what I'm doing, and this is what you need. First of all, get yourself a piece of card, 4.5 by 5 1/4, and we're just going to give it a quick wee score on the 5-inch side, score down at 2 inches. And spin it right round and score it down to 2 inches. So you've left yourself a wee border in the middle, and that's all the scoring you need to do for that. But you have a wee strip here that's going to hold this in place, so you want to score it at about, say, just 1 notch over a 1/2 inch at either side. So that's for 5/16, isn't it? 1 notch over your 1/2 inch should be enough to hold it. You don't want it too loose or too tight. So you're going to need also 2 pieces of DSP, which are going to sit nicely in here. Might need a slight trim. They measure 2 inches by 4 inches because I want to show a wee bit of the black on the inside as well, and the outside is going to be completely black. So if you wanted to, you could run this through an embossing folder just to give it another wee look if you wanted. So score that up. Use your bone folder to crease it if you have it handy. This we're going to roll just to give it a nice wee bendy look. It's hard to see the black in this. And then score that up that way. So you're going to be putting that in there so that it holds this. So just use your tape pen. So turn it so that you've got the curve upside down there, and put your tape on either side. And we're just going to stick one of these down. So if you line it up where you think it's central, just do it by eye, or if you really want to, mark it with a pencil. Just be sure and rub it off again. So press it down so you've secured one side. You could slip your marker in and pop it over this side, just so you know that it's working the way you want it to. And just press that down, and you know that's holding that nice and securely, so it's not going to really slip out too much. So we don't want these left, these big ugly bits of card, so that's where this comes in. So slip that back out again, and if you're using a patterned paper, the other side, this is the lovely wee birds, but I'm using the wee feet because I want to go with the Daffodil Delight to suit all this. If you're using a patterned paper, make sure that it's going to run down the ways on both sides, so that it looks, no matter what side they open it, it's going to look like normal pattern. So again, just use your tape runner or wet glue, whichever you fancy. And stick it down right into that crease, but leaving a slight wee bit at either side. And you can see when you put it to the crease, you're always going to be left with that wee bit extra. So we just want to trim that with your scissors. It's really easy. Just follow your black card. So your scissors will just glide along with that if you're very careful. I'm sticking to a bit of the tape. So that's one side done, and just do the same again. Turn it round and have the paper going the exact same way. tape. And make sure you get that creased right down so you can get that in there. Again, as central as you can get it. And that leaves that nice and clean and crisp in there. And again, we just need to trim that wee tiny bit off. And that's you. So now we want to make our handles. And for our handles, get your ruler and a pencil and go down about 1/2 inch. You line it up. If you're using grid paper, line it up and go down 2 sections and just put a wee pencil line in on one side. I did make a bigger one earlier and it allowed me to peg both sides and go down. So if you are making it deeper, do that. Mark your wee line, peg the two things together on the outside, and then just gauge your punch. If you peg it together down the side, it will hold. But I'm making this one slightly short. I didn't like the bulky like. So I'm going to do one side at a time, which means you will be creasing this down slightly, so just be careful of it. And then line that up, just so you can see that line, and figure you've got it central, and just pop that out. And that gives you your one wee handle, and you're going to do the same, the same on the other side, only this time we're going to use the one that we've punched as a guide. So line up your corners here, this out here way, on both sides, so it's nice and flush. Just hold it and mark it with a pencil. If you mark it there, you'll know you're going to pop your, see the way I've marked it, you know you're going to pop this in again. Whoops, fold that over slightly so that you're not creasing this part, just lowering it here so that you're not ending up with big creases in it. And just slide that in so that you're lining it up with that line. And punch. And that gives you that nice 2 wee sections that are going to come together as handles. So slide that in there. And there you're left with the wee handbag, which does line up, believe it or not. Now the last one I did stamping, and I could do the same again if I used white embossing powder, but it would take me ages. And I decided against it. So if you were using the black, go for that wee stamp. I'll just show you it here. It's that lovely wee spotty one. And it really came out nice. It gives a good variation, so you just go stamp, stamp, stamp. You don't need to keep turning your stamp because it does the variation for you. And it just gives it a nice wee pop. And if you did that, I'd say in yellow, if you had yellow embossing powder, Daffodil Delight might look lovely. But as I say, I'm not doing it. Not tonight, Josephine. So now we need to do our wee bit of stamping, and the stamp that I'm going to use is just a little something for you in the Daffodil Delight. And I've punched one of the Everyday Label punch sections out. What have I done with it? Oh, this one here. But I'm going to chop it down because I want a smaller one. So it's easy enough done. But ink your stamp up in the Daffodil Delight. And you want to stamp it so that you'll be able to cut it down slightly. So keep it in those lines. Or you could cut it first if you're clever. Not like me, do everything backwards. Just a little something for you. So use your scissors and just cut from that point right over to this point. Now you could put it into your cutter and do it nice and straight, but I'm just going for it. And I forgot something, I'll show you that now. I forgot around my corners, which makes all the difference. So that's that one done. That's going to sit at the front here. It just fits in perfectly there. So we want to add some wee dots. So we could do stars are nice, same as this is school related. Give them a wee boost. And this is just going to stick on here, and then we're going to what are we going to do? We are going to wrap the ribbon round. Where is my organised chaos tonight again? I have been designing this project all evening. That's how long it has taken me to get it right in my stupid head again. But we got there in the end, and I'm pretty pleased with it, so I hope you are too. So, a few of your dimensionals just to raise it up. And we're just going to pop it in central. Use the wee handle as a guide for you. And it really stands out against the black. I think it's pretty cool. But I'm going to use white ribbon, which you could colour in with your Daffodil Delight if you wanted to shade it up. This is the Flax, Whisper White Flax ribbon. So if you pop it in and pop it round again, just to give it a good wee grip. And then pull that round to the front. And if you don't want to tie a bow, you could actually just do a knot at this stage. But we'll give the bow a go and see what it looks like. Don't worry. Oh, I forgot about my edges. I really don't like the square edges. It makes it look like a witch's handbag or something. So take that off again. Take your pen out. And using your either a corner punch or your envelope punch board, which is not going to be available anymore, which I'm very sad about, but I will be using mine. So if you have one, watch out for anything I do with it. There's no way I'm getting rid of this contraption. Not on your Nelly. So pen back in, close it up. This is the front. Again, ribbon in and in again. Just wrap it around twice, and make sure you have enough to tie a bow if you're tying a bow. If it looks too much like a big bandage, don't bother. We'll see how it looks in a minute. Tie it in a wee knot there. Oops, and we'll try and bring it up into a bow and see how it looks. If it is too bulky, I'm not going to bother. You could use the lovely spotty ribbon, which would be even nicer. If you're doing this for a boy, just do a knot, don't bother with a bow. There, what do you think? I'm not sure about that bow. I think it's too bulky, so I'm just going to go with the knot. So just leave it like that. I think I'm in two minds about this. That's a hard one. I really think it would need yellow, do you? If you get time, colour up your flax ribbon. I'm going to use a wee bit less, same as I'm using a knot. So pull it looser, bring it round, and tie it. We'll just go with the knot. I've made my mind up now. Decisions, decisions. Yeah, that's okay, isn't it? I think it would be nice actually with some embossing or stamping or dry embossing just to give it something, but the black is good for a boy, definitely. That would suit a wee boy. So that's the two of them done. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you'll give it a wee go. And it's a great way to use up scraps of DSP because you only need 4 inches by 2 inches for the inside. So it's pretty good wee gift. You could do a whole row of them in different colours. So that's me. I'll have all the details down below, and if anybody has a wee go and wants to share it with me, I'd love to put you on my blog on a Sunday. So just give me a wee shout. Thanks for watching now. Bye.